Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing today? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is 3 Buck Theater, and my God, the Fast 9 F9 Fast and Furious 9 trailer dropped today. I've been waiting for this one. I did a reaction video. You guys can check that one out. Universal has decided that not one, two, but three copyright strikes are needed in order to protect it. So unfortunately, that video is going to be making them money, but that's fine. I really enjoyed it. That's why I'm doing this breakdown here. But I have to honestly say, I really enjoyed the trailer. I've been looking forward to this entry now for the past couple years. It's been nearly 3 years since Fast and Furious 8 or The Fate of the Furious, and I've wanted to see where the finale was going to go. We know that they're doing Fast 9 and Fast 10 basically back to back. One comes out this year, the next one comes out next year, marking the 20th anniversary of the franchise. And let's be realistic for a second. This franchise has gone from a knockoff of Point Break to a flat out full on superhero knockoff franchise that is now grossing more money than Warner Brothers films. And I think at this point, even they've taken the Triple X franchise and they've just moved it into this. I really do think that. I think they took Triple X and they just moved it into this, and I'm here for it. I'm in no way complaining. I love these movies. I have for the longest time, nearly 2 decades. But let's take a look here at the trailer. Let's dive in and see what secrets we can uncover, or at least hear me talk about it. So we got the first shot here of showing Dom and Letty and little Brian having a peaceful life. We can see that the Dodge Charger is right there in the shop as usual. This doesn't look like it's in LA. This looks like it's in the middle of nowhere. To me, it comes across like it's out in the countryside, living a peaceful life. We see him here in the shop. We got the Charger right there. Obviously a callback to the original, and it's been his vehicle of choice now for a multitude of films. And he's obviously looking very, very, sullenly or whatever, or going back to look at these images here of him and Letty. There they are right there, him saying that I used to live my life a quarter mile at a time. The bottom photo, if I recall, is from the ending of Fast 5 when they were in Los Angeles. They'd returned to LA after basically kind of clearing their names. Or no, that might have been Fast 7, I believe, when they cleared their names at the end. Yeah, Fast 7. And then I want to say it's probably with Letty's hairstyle, that one is probably more from Fast 7 as well, just because they look like they're happier there and she wasn't as hardcore. But again, I could be wrong. I'm sure if I am, one of you will let me know in the comment section. We get this shot here of him working on a tractor. This is kind of like, domestic Dom, so to speak, teaching little Brian how to work on vehicles. Letty comes walking up wearing her overalls and what appears to be a work outfit and some kind of holster on her side. We notice that's going to be a theme in her outfits here. Look at the shot here of her looking at Dom as he puts Brian to bed. She's got on another holster, obviously knowing that something is coming, so she's getting prepared, and the necklace is very prominent that she then hands over to baby Brian as a sign of good luck for whatever may come next. And obviously it's going to be something big and something massive, and I didn't know what the twist was going to be going into the trailer. I didn't know how they were going to make it bigger and crazier from the last film, but they absolutely did. Dom here is holding on to it one more time, kind of like a very moment to kind of, with this kid and whatnot. That's my interpretation. Then we get a shot of everyone coming back together. This is kind of them being brought back together, I think. We got everyone here. There's Ramsay, there's Roman, there's Letty, and there's definitely, and there's Dom there in the center. Getting another shot here of Roman and Letty, and Tyrese looking like a badass as usual. I love Roman. I always have ever since Too Fast, Too Furious. So it's good to see him back and still kicking ass. But I don't quite get what's up with Ramsey's hair here. I don't quite get what's up with the cornrows. Like, this kind of caught me off guard, if I'm being honest with you. I saw it in the poster and I'm all like, what the hell is this? This is kind of crazy, but okay, fine. She's clearly a lot more hardcore in being a hacktivist than she was when we saw her nearly 3 years ago. Ramsay she was brought in Fast and Furious 7. They had to go rescue her. She ultimately ended up helping the team, and then she became part of the team in Fast 8. And so she's been up to some serious stuff because she looks a lot more hardcore than she did back in Fast 8. We get Dom looking typical Dom. The sleeveless shirt is again one of his standard outfits that he kind of has two. If you think about it, he's got two. He's got this one, and then he's got the white shirt, the white thermal is what he wears a lot of, and that does pop up in this as well. We get this shot here of showing what appears to be them on an island somewhere. I would say what kind of feels like perhaps Thailand, right? Maybe Indian Ocean era. I can't quite tell. The vegetation and the waters, and then the little island in the top left corner there. I don't quite know what it's going to be, but we do see that it is all of them in a convoy together, because we see Letty on the motorcycle and Dom is leading the charge, and obviously everyone else is in the vehicles behind him. There's an action sequence here where this is going to happen right after that, I would assume, where they're going after probably John Cena's character. This is just establishing everything. We see John Cena here over the shoulder looking at the action as it takes place. And then again, looking at the type of vegetation, this is definitely something I think would come out of more of an Asian country, some kind of the jungles and everything else. And I don't know quite know. It could be China, it could be Thailand, it could be the Philippines. I'm sure somebody out there with a better understanding of geography would be able to tell me. We got the shot of Letty here, right as she gets hit by that dune buggy, takes her out, and she goes flying into Dom's car. And again, it's another reason why these are just superheroes. At this point, they're all just superheroes. Like, Dom got shot in the shoulder in number 6 by Letty, and then he was perfectly fine like 2 seconds later. So these people don't get injured in the way that the rest of us would get injured. We got this shot here of Dom, obviously in the same kind of bunker where they were at before. Something is going on here with a bunch of bad guys. We see Mia pop up all of a sudden, so they probably grabbed Mia and brought her in, because Jordana Brewster is going to be a big part of the final 2 films, considering that Paul Walker sadly has passed 6 years ago. And then we get another shot here. Again, this is all from the same moment. We can see that there's Letty on the far right side, and then we got John Cena looking like a badass, and him and Dom get into it. Like, oh my God, what's going on? Who is this guy? What do we know about him? Like, why is he going after Dom and everything? And you find out that it's his brother. It's his brother. His little brother. Again, that just kind of blew my mind. Not necessarily in the best of ways, but I'm gonna have to wait for them to kind of put it together. Now, what we see here is a group of military, or what appears to be paramilitary guys, heading towards a bunker. This to me looks like a World War II bunker. So kind of wherever the islands are, this could be in Manila, in the Philippines, where there were some of those bunkers. It could be a Japanese World War II bunker. They could be off the coast of Japan. We don't quite know. It could be anywhere, really. And it actually could possibly be off Japan, considering who pops up at the end of the trailer. Dom here, what appears to be a crashed out hull of a plane, rocking a shotgun. Then we get a bit more info on who John Cena is as the brother. He is an assassin. He is a thief, and he is a performance driver. He is everything in one. And again, these characters they've stopped being human. They're now superhuman. I mean, there was that whole gag from Hobbs and Shaw about Idris Elba being Black Superman. Like, it's not even a joke. Like, they are literally superheroes at this point. We get another shot here, and this is where I think it's going to be from like a more maybe second act action scene, where that appears to be Dom on the car, and another car is going to be hitting him. Like, it hits him. I showed the trailer to my girlfriend, and she saw this part, and she's like, yeah, that's entirely realistic. Because at this point, again, they're not human. They're superhuman. Dom fighting off a whole bunch of dudes who, I mean, look at all these guys. They show up and they beat the crap out of him, right? And this, again, looks like it's in that underground bunker. That World War II bunker is looking like this is where John Cena's base of operations is going to be. Dom looking like he's pissed off. Again, typical Dom. This is what we expect from Vin Diesel. We get an establishing shot of a city. I don't know what city this is, but the church is there. Make it look like it's, I mean, if you look, it looks more European in style, the red roof, but it could be more Spain. It could be Portugal. I don't know. I don't know. Again, somebody will probably tell me, but it does look like a nice establishing shot, and it does look very similar to the vegetation that we have seen on the island shots from before. Here, this is a shot where, again, we can see the juxtaposition between the two characters. So you've got Dom in his white thermal, blue jeans, and his Uggs, which, again, if you go back and look at the end of Fast and Furious 7, when he battles Jason Statham, Deckard Shaw's character, he ends up, he's wearing the exact same outfit. He wore the same outfit, I believe, in the first Fast and Furious, and it's kind of his uniform, right? That is his costume. It's either that or the sleeveless tee. Then we got John Cena in his full attire, but again, look at the white, look at the black. There's a juxtaposition between the two. There's a shot here I wasn't able to get a good shot of where like they grab, I think it's like about right at the same spot where he grabs him and they fall off of this bridge that they're on without showing anything underneath. Obviously something's going to come underneath and get them. It just, again, showing you these people could probably withstand a fall like that and be perfectly fine. But now we get to the meat of the story here. Now we know what's going on. So here's my take on this one. Cena is currently locked up. He's been apprehended. And Cypher, played by Charlize Theron, at this point in time, is she's trying to talk him in to killing Dom, who thwarted her plans after she tried to use him in the last movie. So we knew she was coming back. I mean, she was probably, I had said that she probably was going to end up joining the team at some point, and I still think that's going to happen because I know John Cena is absolutely going to join the team, because that, of course, is just how this is. This is a family affair. When you've got family in these movies, the family ends up joining the team and ends up becoming another member. This is just how Vin Diesel has these movies made. But then we also get a shot of Helen Mirren as Mrs. Shaw. No sign of Deckard or Luke Wilson's character, Owen Shaw, I believe is what his name was, from Fast and Furious 6 and also Fast and Furious 8. I did love that sequence with them on the plane rescuing the baby. And so she's here talking about family and how it can drive you mad. So she and her underworld connections are probably going to lead Dom to finding Cena, and this is like, I think, going to be their first, like, one of their first times meeting each other, perhaps, because he's got that look in his face like he hasn't seen his brother, but he's pissed off and he knows what he's doing. He draws a gun. They both draw guns. They both take the guns from each other, showcasing that they have basically the equal amount of talent, that they're going to be very evenly matched for what's to come. And again, we have a dude who was stealing car stereos out of trucks in the first movie in a Point Break ripoff from nearly 20 years ago, now being a world-class super spy. And you wonder why the XXX franchise just never took off in that particular fashion, because Fast and Furious basically replaced it, yet Vin Diesel still wants to go do more Xander Cage movies. Then we got this here's a Pontiac Fiero with a rocket on top of it. I don't quite know what the point of it's going to be, but it does look like they've done some calculations to make it more aerodynamic, and that could just be duct tape. I have no idea, but it's going to be interesting to see what exactly this has to do, because here we got a shot of it. We got a shot of it doing something, but there's that plane in the distance, and I think that plane is what we see later on. I think it's the magnet plane is what we see. So we got that shot. Then we get this other action scene where this transport vehicle is making its way through, but we got Dom and what appears to be Letty and their vehicles right there trying to hoard it off, while Roman and Ludacris are fighting inside of the vehicle. And I think what we see on the right there are going to be like canisters, like gas canisters. So I think this is a biological attack, but the guys are wearing the same kind of uniforms that they were wearing in the bunker scene from early on in the trailer when they were beating the crap out of Vin Diesel. Although it does say that it's Lothian Parcel Services, so that's probably just the company that they're ripping off. They end up flipping over this thing, and what looks like a complete knockoff of The Dark Knight, but just completely CG and in no way realistic, unlike Christopher Nolan. Still pretty epic as hell. Then it cuts to the shot of them driving a Humvee across a wooden bridge. A rope bridge in, again, this particular island. I had very, very, very big flashbacks to Temple of Doom during this particular bit. And I was laughing my ass off. We get to see them here. Again, another action scene. Letty on her bike. This is before she gets taken off. Dom's in the car. But this is where they're chasing. Then it cuts to them going after John Cena. John Cena's like, this is my world. And he hits it. Goes in the nitro, jumps off the side of the bridge where there was the rope bridge, but that's now been blown away. He makes it over the edge. He gets a long way off of it before all of a sudden Charlize Theron shows up in literally what appears to be a Quinjet engine from the Marvel movies. Or a knockoff of a stealth bomber type character, where she then grabs it like an eagle catching its prey using a magnet, and then they just straight take the hell off. And I'm like, what in the hell is going on here? What is happening? My God, this is interesting. But that's what they do. Then, of course, Vin Diesel's like, we're going after him, and they run right at the bridge, and they hook on to the rope, right? That's still attached to the other side, while also hitting the nitrous boost. They swing, and they swing over to the other side. And then we get this shot of Han at the end of the trailer, him walking up, still eating something, still playing in to that particular character, which I love. Justice for Han, hashtag on that one. And then him and Dawn hug. And I think this is going to take place after the events with them and the potential. Well, I don't know, because there's a shot here of them with this truck, right? And I think this is leading into it. And then Han comes out he drifts, by the way. He totally Tokyo drifts out. I'm not able to get a good snapshot of that, but he Tokyo drifts out. And then we see him right here, but he's in a different shirt, and he's now, going to be joining the fight. And I do think that this is going to be after that. Like, he's just going to show up randomly. Like, he's going to be part of probably Mr. Nobody, because we haven't seen any Kurt Russell or, Scott Eastwood at all. And they were kind of setting up Scott Eastwood, remember Little Nobody from the last movie, as kind of being the new Brian, and he's not in this trailer at all. And they might have replaced him with Han. I don't quite know. But then again, how the hell is Han alive? How the hell did this happen? We have literally no idea, because they made it a big deal with Fast and Furious 6 to have that post-credits, that mid-credit tease of Jason Statham having taken out Han in order to let us know that he's going to be the villain in the next movie, that he's been tracking them down because of what happened in Fast and Furious 6 with Owen Shaw, and then he's a good guy. And I said this back when Fast 8 came out, when they had made Jason Statham part of the team, when they kind of brought him back in, I had said, I'm like, no, Han's not dead. Han's not dead, because they're going to make sure that, because there's no way the family would accept him if he killed Han. And they accepted him in Fast and Furious 8, meaning that Han is definitely alive. And they were doing the Hobbs and Shaw spinoff, so they were clearly not going to let that be a thing. So I'm glad to see Han's back. Giselle's not coming back. She fell off the back of that plane doing like 250 miles an hour or something. Like, there's no way that she was alive. She's definitely dead. So Gal Gadot is not coming back at all, unfortunately. Although at this point, anything could happen, because all these people are super freaking human. But that being said, justice is coming, and I love that tagline, justice for Han, meaning whoever the hell took him out, they're going to be part of this big scheme. And oh man, I am there for it. I am so freaking there for this movie. So again, I have questions. One, the storyline of the brother has got to work, because I don't quite know how that's going to play out, if I'm being honest with you. I think it's going to be a little bit weird. I think it's going to be a little bit crazy, but I think it's going to be okay. Two, how did Han live? I totally want to know more about that. Three, why is Mia there and not Brian? How are they going to explain that away? Also, where's their kid? That's a question as well. There's been rumors that Paul Walker might be making an appearance to this one, that they might find a way to bring him back. I hope not. I really do hope that they don't bring Paul Walker back, because he died and they gave him such an excellent send-off 5 years ago with Fast and Furious 7, that they gave him a great send-off at the end of that movie. That song was great. That montage was great. It was a great a great way to say goodbye to the character, and a great way to move past it. And I'm fine with that. I'm okay with that. I hope they don't sully Paul Walker's memory by making it any kind of crazier than it is. So yeah, at the end of the day, man, I loved it. I've watched this trailer like 4 or 5 times now. I'm a big fan of the franchise. If you guys can't tell, if you've made it this far, if you've 18 minutes. If you've gone in 18 minutes into this video, you are also a fan of Fast and Furious. And I want to hear your theories for what do you think this movie is going to do. I want to hear your thoughts for everything. And let me know down in the comment section. I really appreciate it. If you guys are also going to comment, please consider hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe. And if you want to see more breakdowns like this of trailers, let me know. And again, we'll be covering a lot of Fast 9 coverage until the movie comes out in May, which I think is coming out Memorial Day, just like Fast 6 did in 2013. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys all later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.